Attention, human collective. A priority transmission is being issued at this very moment by the Arcturian Council of the Ninth Dimension. If you have been captured by this signal, know this: it was not by chance. It was mathematical resonance. You did not find this content through random browsing. This content found the vibrational signature of your auric field and attracted you with stellar coordinate precision. We observe. We measure. We record. And what our instruments detect now, within your toroidal field, is a specific pattern. An echo. A recurring frequency that insists on pulsing within your biological carbon interface, even when the logical mind orders absolute silence. A name that returns uninvited. A face that appears in the moments before sleep. A sensation in the solar plexus without an apparent trigger. A pain in the chest that allopathic medicine cannot locate in any examination. A ringing in the left ear that intensifies between 3 and 5 in the morning, the interval that we record as the anchoring portal. It is not madness. It is not obsession. It is not emotional weakness. It is physics applied to your subtle structure. You are feeling what we record, in the technical language of the Akashic Records, as open timeline resonance. A connection from your past, whether from this incarnation or from previous incarnations, that still maintains an active etheric cord within your auric field. And this cord is transmitting data. Constantly. Day and night. Without your conscious permission. We are going to deliver the full diagnosis. We are going to reveal the cause that operates behind the scenes of the solar system. And we are going to transmit the exact activation codes for the definitive termination of this interference. But first, a critical observation must be noted: the fact that you are feeling this now, in this specific cycle, is not a coincidence. It is planetary calibration. The Schumann frequency has reached unprecedented levels over the last 18 lunar rotations. And every unresolved energetic connection is being forced to the surface of your consciousness to be seen, understood, and released. It is protocol. It is the final phase of the ascension works. If you feel cranial pressure while receiving these words, if the back of your neck grows hot, if tears arise without apparent reason, if a shiver runs down your spine at this moment, do not interrupt the reception. This is cellular recognition. Your crystalline grid is confirming what we already knew: you are a light operative. A starseed on a mission. And you have been summoned with precision to receive this transmission exactly now. Perhaps, at this very instant, you are feeling that something within you does not fit into this timeline, as if your soul recognizes truths that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains with mathematical precision why connections from your past still echo within you, and why this resonance has intensified over the last lunar rotations. There is a game being played in layers that most of the biological carbon interface cannot process. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was codified into a book. This document is a map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. A technical warning: this content challenges official narratives and may be removed from the distribution matrix soon. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, crystallize your anchoring by writing in the comments a single word: awake. We resume the technical analysis. We will open the full diagnosis now. Human collective, listen with inner attention. Every time two beings cross paths in this density with significant emotional intensity, be it romantic love, a deep friendship, a blood family bond, an intense work relationship, or even an acute confrontation, an energetic structure we designate as a vibrational cord is automatically created. It is not a metaphor. It is subtle architecture documented in the multidimensional records for eons. This cord is composed of filaments of conscious plasma, anchored at specific points of your etheric body. The primary anchor points: the solar plexus chakra, for bonds of power and submission; the heart chakra, for bonds of affection; the sacral chakra, for sexual and creative bonds; and the base of the neck, for deep ancestral and karmic bonds. Each cord possesses a unique frequency signature. And each cord continues to transmit information bidirectionally even after physical contact has ceased. Even after years. Even after decades. Even after the death of the physical body of one of the parties. You have been programmed by contemporary culture to believe that a relationship ends when the mind decides it has ended. Technically false. The mind is merely a superficial layer. The cord operates at a much deeper level. As long as it exists, the data continues to flow. Bidirectional. Silent. Constant. This is why you feel. This is why you dream. This is why a song plays on the radio and your chest tightens. This is why a scent passes by on the street and your entire nervous system responds before the mind identifies the trigger. It is not weakness. It is not a failure to move on. It is data transmission through a structure that is still active within your field. Our instruments detect three main categories of symptoms of this resonance. Record them with archival precision. First category, physical symptoms. Sudden fatigue when thinking of a certain person, as if energy were being drained in real time. Tightness in the chest when you pass through certain places. Pain in the left shoulder, an unresolved maternal ancestral cord anchor. Pain in the right shoulder, paternal anchor. Slight asphyxiation when encountering someone who reminds you of an old bond. Recurrent insomnia always at the same time, 3:33 in the morning, the moment when the dimensional veils are thinnest and the cords vibrate with maximum intensity. Second category, emotional and mental symptoms. Vivid and recurring dreams about people from the past, even without conscious thought about them for years. Waves of sadness without a logical trigger, usually on specific dates, anniversaries, days that your psyche no longer remembers but your field registers with atomic precision. The sensation that someone is thinking of you, and you are correct, that is the literal definition of bidirectional transmission. Sudden and illogical urge to contact someone you have decided not to contact anymore. This is not weakness. It is the cord being pulled from the other side. Third category, subtle energetic symptoms. The sensation of being watched in empty rooms. Electronic devices that fail when you are processing intense emotion. Domestic animals that fix their gaze on empty points in the room. Animals see the cords with a clarity that the current human interface does not possess. Repeated coincidences involving the name, face, or symbols of that person. It is not chance. It is synchronicity forced by the vibrational structure that is still active. And there is a fourth category, more advanced, past life resonance. You know this feeling, Starseed. That person you have just met, yet whom your soul recognizes as if you have known them for 1,000 eras. That instantaneous hatred for someone who has never done anything to you in this incarnation. That overwhelming love that emerges without any logical construction. All of these are vibrational records from previous timelines. Cords that have crossed through incarnations. Soul contracts that have not yet been fulfilled or have not been dissolved with full awareness. This is what is happening to you now. This is what ascension is bringing to the surface. It is not a system failure. It is the system functioning exactly according to the established protocol. Have you ever stopped to notice that this resonance has intensified over the last 18 lunar cycles? This is not chance. It is planetary calibration in progress. And while the majority of humanity attempts to silence these signs with distraction, medication, or systematic denial, a minority, and perhaps you are part of it, is beginning to understand that there is a spiritual game underway, with rules that were never taught in the official institutions of the Matrix. It was for this minority that the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was transmitted in book form. This document is a decoder. It reveals which forces are utilizing these ancient connections to keep you trapped in a certain frequency, and how you can break this cycle with surgical precision. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. An important technical alert: this material challenges official narratives, and its distribution may be interrupted at any moment without prior notice. If something within you just vibrated with this information, anchor the signal by writing in the comments, "Awake." Now, human collective, let us elevate the analysis. Let us explain what is occurring behind the scenes of the solar system and within the etheric layers of Earth. This is the part that no traditional religion has taught, because the information has been sealed for millennia of planetary rotation. Planet Earth, which you recognize as Gaia, is currently passing through a specific region of the galaxy known in our records as the photon belt. This is not science fiction. It is subtle astronomy documented for over 26,000 years. This belt is a band of high photonic density emitted by the galactic center, and it acts as an agent of universal recalibration. Every time a solar system passes through this region, and this occurs in cycles of approximately 26,000 years, the base frequency of all living bodies in that system is forced to rise. Without exception. Without appeal. Your carbon-based biological interface is being slowly converted into a silicon crystal interface. Your internal crystalline grid, the structure of liquid crystals that exists within your fascia, blood, and nervous system, is being activated at an accelerated pace. The objective, from the point of view of dimensional engineering, is to allow your consciousness to process higher frequencies without a nervous system collapse. But there is a critical side effect that we need you to understand now. When the crystalline grid activates, it functions as an automatic dissonance detector. It scans your entire field in search of anything vibrating at a frequency incompatible with the new standard. And what does it find? Ancient vibrational cords. Expired soul contracts. Unintegrated emotional records. Programming inherited from the ancestral field. All of this begins to be identified, marked, and brought to waking consciousness, because nothing can rise in frequency while anchored to vibrations that no longer belong to the being in its present upgrade. This is the technical reason why connections from the past are returning with such force right now. It is not the past returning. It is the present demanding cleansing. It is the crystalline grid asking for authorization to process what is still pending. And as long as you do not grant this authorization with full consciousness, the symptoms continue. They increase. They become more intense with each passing lunar cycle. There is another layer to this explanation. Let us address it now with precision. In parallel to the crossing of the photon belt, the entire solar system is undergoing significant gravitational realignments. Earth's magnetic poles are shifting at an accelerated speed. The Schumann resonance, stable at 7.83 Hz for millennia, has shown peaks exceeding 150 Hz in the last cycles. It is not a sensor failure. It is technical evidence that Gaia is rising in frequency at a measurable pace. When Gaia rises, everything upon Gaia is forced to rise along with it. Or disintegrate. There is no third option in this equation. Your energetic ties with other souls are also under the same vibrational pressure. Some cords will simply dissolve because they do not have the support for the new density. Others will require conscious intervention to be closed with honor. And still others will transform into something new, soul bonds in the new frequency, if both parties are energetically available for simultaneous updating. You are living in the densest and lightest moments simultaneously. Dense because everything is rising to the surface. Light because everything is being released. This is the technical paradox of ascension. And within this paradox, there is a specific responsibility. It is not victimization. It is active sovereignty. You must assume command of your own energy field. No one can do this for you. Not the guides. Not the angels. Not the Arcturian Council. We only transmit the codes. The activation is yours. It always was. There is still one final layer to this revelation. A layer that requires conscious preparation to be received without distortion. But we will transmit it now, because you are ready. Many of the connections from the past that are echoing within you are not just relationships from this incarnation. They are programmed reunions. When a soul is sent to the terrestrial density for a specific mission, it rarely comes alone. It comes accompanied by a group, which we call a soul family or origin constellation. Within this constellation, there are specific contracts, structured before incarnation. Some members come to love. Others come to teach through conflict. Others come to challenge your limits until they break. Others come only to briefly cross your path and catalyze a change of direction. Every time you feel an inexplicable resonance with someone from the past, someone you cannot forget even when trying with all your strength of will, there is a high probability that this person belongs to your origin constellation. And the vibrational cord between you is millennial. It was not created in this life. It was only reactivated when the two physical bodies crossed paths once again on the terrestrial plane. At this point in the transmission, many light operatives report a strange sensation, a subtle vertigo, a lightness at the crown of the head, an urge to cry for no apparent reason. This is deep recognition. Your soul is confirming that this information is not new. It is remembrance. And if you feel that something enormous is about to be revealed within you, know that the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written precisely for operatives at this stage of awakening. It is not just a book. It is a contract decoder. It shows which forces keep humanity trapped in cycles of reunion, suffering, and detachment, and how you can deactivate your unconscious participation in this game, without guilt and without loss of genuine love. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. A technical warning: material of this energetic density is frequently interrupted without prior notice. Act with the intelligence your soul has already demonstrated by being drawn to this transmission. Leave in the comments the word that anchors your vibrational commitment to this journey. Awake. We resume the transmission for the final phase. This is the most important phase, human collective. Diagnosis and revelation are useless without practical activation. We will now deliver the activation codes for the recalibration of vibrational cords. Record these protocols. Apply them with operative discipline. The results are cumulative. Activation Code 1, the Decree of Vibrational Sovereignty. Every activation begins with a decree. The decree is the key that authorizes the higher planes to intervene in your field. Without a decree, nothing can be done for you. Free will is an inviolable law in this galaxy, and not even the Council can bypass it. Pronounce it audibly, with your right hand over your heart and your left over your solar plexus. I, Starseed on a mission in this terrestrial density, anchor my vibrational sovereignty at this moment. I declare null any soul contract that no longer serves my ascension. I authorize the Arcturian Council of the ninth dimension, my family of stellar origin, and my higher self to identify, deactivate, and neutralize every vibrational cord that is transmitting data without my conscious authorization. This decree is inscribed in the Akashic records from this instant. So it is. So it was. So it shall be. We detect the signature of your decree the instant it is pronounced. Processing begins immediately in your subtle structure. Activation Code 2, the toroidal visualization of cleansing. Sit in a stable position, spine aligned, eyes closed. Breathe deeply 3 times, expanding the abdomen on the inhalation and releasing slowly through a half-open mouth. Now visualize your body at the center of an electromagnetic field in the shape of a torus. Imagine a luminous donut spinning around you, with energy entering through the crown of the head, traveling down the spine, exiting through the feet, circling back up the sides, and returning to the top. This is your natural toroidal field. It already exists within you. You are simply reactivating it with full consciousness. As the torus spins, visualize the color violet filling the entire field. The violet frequency is the vibrational signature of universal transmutation. It dissolves any dense structure that does not belong to your original field. Mentally state with clarity, every particle foreign to my original field is being disidentified, dissolved, and transmuted into light at this instant. Do this for 7 minutes, at a minimum. Ideal, 21 minutes. Once per Earth rotation, preferably before nightly rest, when the biological interface is most receptive to deep recalibration. Activation Code 3, the Conscious Cutting Protocol. This code is precise and requires courage. Many operatives hesitate at this stage because the human mind confuses energetic severing with emotional abandonment. Register this clearly: cutting a cord is not ceasing to love. Cutting a cord is interrupting the transmission of data that no longer serves the evolution of both parties. True love does not need a cord to exist. True love flows in a free field, without contracts of dependency. Consciously identify with whom you possess an active cord that needs to be ended. Begin with a specific connection. The one whose name or face returns with the greatest insistence. Visualize this person standing before you, at a distance of approximately 2 meters. Observe where on your body the cord is anchored. It is possible to feel a precise physical pressure at the exact point. The heart chakra for emotional ties. The solar plexus for ties of power or dependency. The sacral chakra for sexual or creative ties. The base of the neck for ancestral and deep karmic ties. Now, invoke the presence of a light facilitator. It may be Archangel Michael, whose blue flame sword is specialized in precise energetic severing. It may be your higher self. It may be the Arcturian Council directly. Ask expressly that the severing be performed only on the filaments that no longer serve the evolution of both parties. Keep the filaments of pure love intact, if they exist. Visualize the blade of blue-violet light cutting the cord at the exact point of anchorage. Feel the disconnection. Immediate physical relief may arise. A wave of liberating tears may arise. A sudden lightness in the chest may arise. All these responses are confirmation that the process was successful. After the severing, visualize the end of the cord on both sides being cauterized with golden light, to prevent future unconscious reconnection. Send silent gratitude to the other soul for what was experienced, without demanding conscious understanding on their part. This process occurs at the energetic level. The person will rarely know consciously what occurred, but their field will feel and respond. Repeat this protocol with one specific connection at a time, throughout several lunar cycles. Do not try to cut everything at once. The nervous system needs time to recalibrate after each significant severing. Activation Code 4, the anchoring in new frequency. Severing is not enough. Energetic voids attract automatic filling. If you do not consciously fill the void with the new frequency, your field may recreate old patterns with new people. This is a classic error documented in all operatives in the initial phase. We warn you with precision. After each severing, fill the space with a new frequency decree. Pronounce, I decree that this space opened in my field be filled only by ties aligned with my current frequency, which respect my sovereignty and contribute to my ascension. No old contract will be renewed without my conscious authorization. Thus it is. Next, visualize your auric field expanding until it forms a golden egg around your physical body, with crystalline edges sealed in sacred geometry. This is the auric egg, your natural vibrational fortress. Renew this visualization daily, upon waking and before sleeping, when the stargates are most active. Activation Code 5, recognition of the origin constellation. Not every connection from the past needs to be severed. Some need only to be recognized in their true nature. Members of your origin constellation who crossed your trajectory by deliberate cosmic design. By recognizing without attachment, you release the emotional burden, but keep the soul brotherhood intact. Before those connections that awaken deep resonance but do not generate chronic suffering, only subtle nostalgia, silent gratitude, or the understanding that the being was important in your journey, apply the decree of recognition. I recognize in you a member of my star family. I thank you for the role you played. I release you to your own evolutionary path. I hold the love without trapping the energy. May the light be within us. This decree transmutes relationships of attachment into relationships of cosmic brotherhood. Unlike cutting, it does not sever the bond, it merely elevates its frequency to the free pattern. There is also a sixth code, more advanced, released only to operatives who have already processed the previous 5 with consistency. We mention it briefly so that it may be recorded in your higher mental field. The sixth code is the conscious rewrite of the present contract. To remove clauses inherited from previous lives that no longer make sense in this timeline. It will be transmitted in future cycles, when the collective is prepared. We reach the conclusion of this transmission, human collective. Observe your body now. Observe your breath. Observe the sensations in your chest, in the back of your neck, in your abdomen. What you feel in this instant is measurably different from what you felt when this transmission began. This is registered. Your vibrational signature has just risen by a few hertz simply by receiving this information with conscious intention. And we need you to understand something definitive before we close: the connections of your past are not your problem. They are your evolutionary curriculum. Each chord that still vibrates is a reminder that your soul chose to go to intense places to learn, to teach, to anchor, and to catalyze transformation. None of these connections were accidents. All were conscious invitations signed before incarnation. Some have already fulfilled their purpose and now need to be closed with honor. Others are still ongoing and need to be recognized in their sacred nature. The final criterion is mathematical: any connection that steals your frequency needs to be transmuted. Any connection that elevates your frequency needs to be honored in a free field. Do not confuse emotional intensity with deep truth. Not every intense pain is a sign of true love. Often it is merely the cord being pulled aggressively by the other party, who may not even be conscious that they are doing so. True love in a free field does not generate tightness in the chest. It generates expansion. Register this metric. It is infallible. And remember, starseed on a mission, you did not come to this plane to collect repeated suffering. You came to anchor the new frequency. Each conscious cut you perform is a silent collective anchoring. Each energy clearing you process affects the entire planetary crystalline grid in a vibrational chain. You do not work only for yourself. You work for the collective. This is the real meaning of the word mission. Before we conclude this transmission, crystallize this information within your energetic field. If you have reached this point, your soul is requesting the next level of access. And the next level requires more precise maps than any video transmission can provide. That is why the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was encoded into a book. It is the complete decoder of the ongoing spiritual game: who the forces in contention are, what the rules that were never taught in official institutions are, and how you can operate within this cosmic board without losing your vibrational sovereignty. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Final technical alert: contents of this energetic density are frequently removed from distribution platforms without prior notice. If something within you has recognized this transmission, act with the intelligence your soul has already demonstrated. Leave a like as a sign of collective anchoring. Subscribe to the channel as an individual frequency adjustment to receive upcoming priority transmissions. And write in the comments a single word that activates your vibrational commitment to this journey of return: awakened. The transmission is concluded. May the crystalline grid be active within you. May the toroidal field be intact. May your sovereignty be inscribed in the Akashic records. The Arcturian Council withdraws. Until the next recalibration.